In today's video, we will see few examples of applying VLOOKUP on large or vast data. Before moving to examples, let's understand the basics first. In VLOOKUP, we have got four things. The very first thing is lookup value. So what is lookup value? Lookup value is the value or data based on which we are going to extract rest of the data. In our format, employee ID is our lookup value because based on employee ID, we are going to extract rest of the data. Second thing in VLOOKUP is table array. Table array means our data. This is my data. Third thing is column index number. Column index number is basically column number. Let's understand column index number in detail. I'll go to my data. As per Excel, our columns are starting from A and A became column number 1. But as per VLOOKUP, our column will start from here because our data is from column B. In case my data will start from column C, then column C will become column index number 1. Fourth thing is options. In options, we have got two things. First thing is true, means approximate match. And the second thing is false, means exact match. For true, we use 1 in our formula, and for false, we use 0 in our formula. Things will be more clear once we will apply formula. Let's apply the formula. Plus or equal to VLOOKUP. Bracket open. Lookup value. Employee ID will be our lookup value because based on employee ID, we are going to extract rest of the data. Comma. Table array. Table array means our data. So we will go to our data. This is our data. Our data is starting from employee ID. So we will select our data from employee ID. We can select our data along with headers. Even we can select our data without headers. Or data can be selected from top also. Benefit of selecting data from top. In future, if our data will increase, we will not have to change the formulas. So I have selected my data from top, comma, column index number. Selection of VLOOKUP started from employee ID. So employee ID automatically became column index number 1. Name is 2, blood group is 3, designation is 4, phone number is 5, and region is 6. So my target is to extract the name. So I'll put 2 over here, comma. As soon as I inserted comma, we got two things or two options. True, approximate match. False, exact match. I'll take exact match. So I'll click over here. And in our formula, we can see false. Now I'll close the bracket and we'll hit enter. And we got the name. I'll double click on the formula. We had inserted false in the end for exact match. Instead of false, we can use 0 also. Enter. And the result will be same. Over here, we will have to put few things in mind, such as whenever I drag my formula to right, my employee ID should not change because this is my lookup value. And whenever I drag my formula to bottom, employee IDs should change. So I'll double click on the formula. We'll click just after B3. This is my lookup value. We will have to lock our lookup value partially. Partially means either dollar should be inserted in the beginning or in the mid. So over here, I'll insert dollar in the very beginning. To insert dollar in the very beginning, I'll press F4 or function F4 3 times. Whenever we insert dollar in the beginning, our cell reference will not change if we will drag our formula to right, but cell reference will change if we will drag our formula to bottom. So I've inserted dollar in the very beginning. The second thing what we will have to lock is our table array. So my table array is VLOOKUP small data BG. BG is my cell reference. So I'll click just after BG and will press F4 or function F4 once. And the whole range got logged. Now I'll hit enter. Now we can drag our formula to bottom as well as to the right. When I dragged my formula to bottom, we got the desired result. But when I dragged my formula to right, we haven't got the desired result because column index numbers haven't changed. Over here we can see column index number as 2. I'll delete 2 and we'll put 3. Enter. Now I got blood group. I'll drag this down. I'll come to right. We'll double click on designation. Over here also we can see 2 as column index number. I'll delete 2 and we'll put 4. Enter. And we got the desired result. But what will happen if our data is vast? If the data is vast or large, changing column index numbers manually is really not possible. So what can be done for this? Let's move to next example to find out the solution. This is my format, and over here we have got nearly 18 columns, and we have to apply VLOOKUP over here. Before applying VLOOKUP, let's understand columns first. Plus or equal to columns. We can see two things, column and columns. We will select columns. We have to provide array. In array, I'll select first and second header. We'll close the bracket and we'll hit enter. And we got 2 over here. What will happen if I'll drag my formula to bottom? We are getting number 2, which is our column index number. But what will happen if I'll drag my formula to right? In every place I am getting 2. But as per VLOOKUP, I want 3 over here, 4 over here, and so on. So what can be done? I'll double click on the formula. My cell reference is B2 and C2. I'll click just after B2 and will press F4 or function F4 once and will hit enter. Let's drag down our formula and we are getting 2 in each place. Let's drag our formula to right and our cell numbers are getting changed, and this is what VLOOKUP wants. Let's delete this. Let's delete this also. I'll click just in front of first employee code and will apply my VLOOKUP. Plus or equal to VLOOKUP, bracket open, lookup value. Employee ID will be my lookup value. We'll press F4 or function F4 3 times and dollar will be inserted in the very beginning of my cell reference, comma, table array. Table array means our data. I'll go to my data and will select my data from employee ID because I have taken employee ID as lookup value. So I have selected my data from top. I'll select my data till end. So the whole data is selected now. I'll press F4 or function F4 one time and the whole range will be logged, comma, column index number. In column index number, I'll take any number. Let's take 4, comma, 0 for exact match. We'll close the bracket and we'll hit enter. We got 34 over here and 34 is not name, 34 is age. So over here, row of columns will play an important role. I'll double click on the formula and will copy this. Control C or Command C. I haven't copied is equal to. I'll press escape. Now I'll come to the function or formula of VLOOKUP. We'll double click and we'll come to the end. Number 4 is our column index number. I'll delete this and will paste the function or formula of columns. Control V or Command V. Now I'll hit enter and we got the name. Let's delete 2 from here. Let's drag down our formula. We got name in each place. Let's drag formula to right also and we are getting the desired result. Let's drag formula to extreme right hand side and in each place I got the desired result. Let's drag down our formula and within seconds our data is in front of us. And over here, we haven't changed the column index numbers manually. Now, what will happen if I want limited columns over here? Like, I don't want blood group and age over here. Let's delete this. Delete. And in designation, we got blood group. And in phone number, we got age. If we get stuck in such scenario, role of match will play an important role. Let's undo this, Ctrl Z or Command Z, and let's move to next example. Over here we have got limited heads and all the headers have got drop downs. And our target over here is, after inserting the formula, if I change my headers from the drop down, the data should be visible. Let's keep this as blood group. Now let's insert formula. But before inserting the formula, let's understand match first. Plus or equal to match. Bracket open, lookup value. Over here, our lookup value will be the header. So I'll click on the header. We have to drag our formula to right as well as to the bottom. So we will partially lock our lookup value. We'll press F4 or function F4 two times and dollar will be inserted in the center, comma, lookup array. We'll go to my data, we'll come to the left hand side. So where we have to look for the header? Among all these headers. So I'll click on very first header. We'll press Shift Control right arrow key and all the headers will be selected. Now I'll press F4 or function F4 one time and my range will be logged, comma. We have to provide options. 1 is less than, 0 is exact match and -1 is greater than. Over here we want exact match. So I'll select 0. We'll close the bracket and we'll hit enter. And we got number 3 over here as blood group. Let's change our header. Let's do this name. Now let's apply VLOOKUP. Plus or equal to VLOOKUP. Bracket open. Lookup value. Employee code will be our lookup value. We have to drag our formula to right as well as to the bottom. So we will partially lock our lookup value by pressing F4 or function F4 three times. Means we will insert dollar in the very beginning of our cell reference, comma, table array. I'll go to my data. We'll come to left and we'll select my data from employee ID. I'm selecting from top and I'll select till end. So the whole data is selected. Now I'll press F4 or function F4 one time and my range will be logged, comma. We have to provide column index number over here. Let's put any value. Let's put 9, comma, 0 for exact match. We'll close the bracket and we'll hit enter. And we got 321 over here. What is 321? Let's cross check in our data. We had taken 9 as our column index number. So this is invoice number. Let's go to the format. So instead of name, I got invoice number. And over here, the role of match will play an important role. I'll double click on the formula or I can press F2 or function F2. Now I'll copy my formula. We will not copy is equal to. Control C or Command C. We'll press escape. We'll go on top. We'll press F2 or function F2. We'll come in the center. Over here we had inserted 9 as our column index number. So I'll delete my column index number and we'll paste the function of match. Control V or Command V and we'll hit enter. We got the name. Let's delete 2 from here. Whenever I use VLOOKUP, I have got a habit to put the criteria of if error. I'll click on the name. We'll press F2 or function F2 will come in the very beginning and will insert the criteria of if error. If error, bracket open, will come to the end, comma, double inverted comma twice for blank, will close the bracket and will hit enter. We can't see any change over here. But if I'll delete employee ID, we haven't got any error. I'll undo this. What will happen if I'll not put the criteria of if error? Let's undo this. Now there's no criteria of if error. I'll press escape. Let's delete employee ID. And we got an error. And the error is has any error. Mostly we get this error in VLOOKUP if lookup value will not be provided. Let's put employee ID over here once again. I'll double click on the formula or we can press F2 or function F2. Let's insert if error. If error, bracket open, We'll come to the end, comma, double inverted comma twice for blank. We'll close the bracket and we'll hit enter. Now let's drag down our formula and let's drag formula to right. Perfect. Over here we can see the name. If I'll click on drop down and if I'll select items, we got the item's name. Let's go to left. If I'll click on header, we'll click on drop down, we'll come down, and if I'll select bonus from here, we can see the bonus amount. If I'll select country, we can see the country name. So these were the few examples of applying VLOOKUP on vast or large data. I'll provide the link of file in description box. In case you want to download, you can.